Hello. Okay. In this video, we're going to go over how to fill out our customer notes audit. So I'm going to share my screen first. And then the customer notes audit is going to be found. You're going to need to go to the schedule, and then you're going to need to pull up the customer notes audit sheet, and you'll get that in the dispatcher drive. So again, we're going to go to cpcdispatcher@gmail.com. We're going to go to the drive. And then we're either going to find it because it's been pulled up recently, or we're going to search for customer notes audit. Okay, so the customer notes audit is separated by week. We will typically build it out maybe a quarter in advance so that we can have a summary sheet that's kind of calculating some data as we input it. In order to have it pre-populate and calculate as we're inputting, it has to be done out in advance. Right now, we've got all of quarter one. I'm currently doing this basically at the end of quarter one. So we're at a point right now where I need to build out all of quarter two. So that's one task that might be done as you get a little bit deeper into the customer notes audit, but I'm going to show you how to do the basic filling out of this that we normally do from week to week. So let me see how far up we've gotten. It looks like we have filled out the customer notes audit up until 3/26 of 2026. So what this tracks is for each technician, how consistently are they doing certain things in the job that we need them to do? How often are they filling out their private notes? How often are they uploading their before and after photos? How often are they filling out the technician notes that the customer sees? How often are they making sure their line items are filled out so that we can make sure we're cleaning the right areas, or we could reference in the future, which areas did we clean on this visit? And then how often is the invoice actually getting to the customer like it should? So if we have gotten up to 3/23, that's the last date, I'm going to go over into House Call Pro and I'm going to see, okay, well, we've got Zach's for this day and we've got Aiden's for this day. So we're starting on 3/24. We only have one route that was ran on this day. It was Wes and Aiden, and they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs. This is a green safe delivery that I did. So they did 6 jobs. So I can go ahead and in the customer notes audit, 3/24, 2026, Wes and Aiden. And then I know this was done for 5 more days or 5 more jobs. And then I start putting in their customers. Move Then, Amy Bennett, Andrea Osborne. And then I might do that all, for the whole day just so that I can do that once and then not have to do it again. So then we have an Acorn and Oak, Chris Flora, Josh Moore. And then I'm going to start to open these up and see, have these things been done for this job? Invoice sent is really not relevant for most jobs because when they take payment, the invoice is automatically sent to the customer. But in some cases, they have to make sure that invoice got sent. So this is a great example because we've got a couple property management companies on here. We don't take payment from them on site. We send them the invoice and then they get payment to us. So I do need to know, was this sent? For most customers, I'm going to check this box because the invoice got to the customer correctly. It's only going to be unchecked if they were supposed to send the invoice and they didn't. So I'll look first at this Move Then. This is a great example where I'm actually looking for, did they send the invoice? That's relevant. They did send the invoice to the customer, and they have their notes filled out. So that's good. So even though we haven't gotten payment yet, that's normal. This customer should be net 30 because they're a property management company. They send us lots of work and then we send them a bill. So that's done. Technician notes have been filled out. So that's good. The customer is able to see the notes from our job. Looks like they didn't do their private notes. The only note I'm seeing is from dispatch. So that box will be unchecked. And then for before and after photos, it looks like I have before and after photos for about the number of rooms that they did. The main purpose of the before and after photos is to capture, in a lockbox, it's helpful for customers to be able to see the finished product. But in most cases, what they're really looking for is, taking photos of things that could be a potential warranty work, like permanent stains, things the customer may actually call about, stuff like that. But I do want to see some before and after photos for the work over here. Let me see over here if so invoice was sent. The technician notes were filled out. Pictures are in. They're in right here. So private notes were not done. I will leave that empty. And then line items. Let me go and look and see if they filled out their line items. So we've got a staircase, a walk-in closet, and then for standard bedrooms, they did fill out 4 bedrooms and a hallway, which is likely all of the carpet in the house. So I don't really need this specified in a more specific way, like front left bedroom, back right bedroom. I don't need that because I know we did all the carpet in this house. So I will hit check for line items. They did fill that out. And over here, I'm going to put no private notes. All right. That's how we'd fill that out. And then it's going to populate their score over here on the side. Because the invoice being sent is relevant for so few jobs, we do calculate a score for both with and without that factored in. But this is how it's calculating their score. And then the summary sheet for the whole quarter is reading that score from the end of each week. And then it can compare, okay, well, if he made 100% this week, 90% the week before, 85 the week before, that's how we're getting, for Zach, for instance, we're able to see the team average per week, and we're able to see how his average compares to the team average. So is he bringing the team average up, or is he bringing the team average down? The most recent week, because it's in progress, isn't really accurate. But other than that, it could be completely filled out and be accurate. So that's how we do the customer notes audit. I think that's all the information that I can think of for right now. So give me one moment. I'll end this, and you can always reference it in the future if you need it.